Hey guys, it's Andrea. I already did the voiceover for this, and oh my gosh, Audacity, I guess, it only recorded half of it, which is super frustrating. So I'm gonna try to talk about the same stuff. Who knows? Maybe it'll be even better. We'll see. Probably not. I'm new to drawing. And I don't know if you guys are coming over from my other social media. I really used to work primarily as a makeup artist. And I always really wanted to get on top of YouTube as a makeup artist. There's such a great beauty community and it's so inspiring. But I kind of hit a point where it's so much setup and effort, which is amazing. People do a lot, but I feel like the time and equipment and everything that I had just wasn't conducive to that medium. I I work full time. I've got three kiddos, and to make a whole day of just like setting up a space for recording audio, making sure the framing is correct, it wasn't working out the way that I'd always hoped that it would. And I still really wanted to participate in YouTube. I still wanted to, do this as a creative outlet, find some way that I can, develop a channel and communicate with you guys and share my ideas. And I've been working on drawing. Maybe I shouldn't say how long. It's gonna make a little progress I've made look bad. But I'd say altogether I've been taking it seriously for a couple years now. I guess when I say seriously, I feel like I'm completing maybe like one good sketch a week. And that's also kind of why I wanted to start this channel. I really want to dive in and be doing sketching daily, trying different ideas, changing up my style. I was really married to realism for a long time. I felt like that was the only way that I could make real art. And, it's so silly, the things that you see in other people and you think, wow, that is amazing. That's one of the most astounding things I've ever seen. I always loved like the really cartoony style, and the people I follow now do more of that style. So I'd see them do it and think like that's amazing. I could never be that good. And I was stuck in a rut of drawing super realistic for a long time because I thought like, well, this is the only way that I'll get better. And I kind of realized through, exploring vastly different styles of art that you don't have to stick with a rule book, I think I'm good at drawing eyebrows. I like to make that a focus of my drawings. I'm getting better with proportions, and yeah, I just wanted to try more things out and get more of a varied experience in my art and start doing more things just that inspire me, not that are necessarily textbook the most beautiful thing that's ever been created. So I'm trying to do a sketch a day at least. I'm trying to get quicker with my sketches and have like a looser, more illustrative style. Rather illustrious, not illustrious. I'm trying to get though more of a unique, specific illustrative style. We're not going down that rabbit hole again. And I wanted to start by doing something I'd seen Casey Golden doing that really inspired me, which is cute little like food inspired doodles. So I started this Foodles series. I thought it'd be a fun first series for my channel. And this one is, she's a cute little girl in a wheelchair, and she is inspired by chicken fajitas. My husband was supposed to pick up the groceries for that on the way home. I thought that's what I was going to be making for dinner yesterday evening. And he came home with Chinese food instead. So who can say no to Chinese food? It It was super good, but I had this idea for this little chicken fajitas girl in my head. Oh, this is the part where I'm drawing her hands. You can see over on the left, I did sketch out the idea for her hands. I actually think my sketches came out better than what I actually ended up sketching on the page here. And I don't know, hands are a tough thing for me. I think that might be something that I work on just every day, is like draw a couple of hands and see where it goes. Try to get better at those, especially the orientation and the angle. But yeah, I drew this little chicken fajita inspired girl. Actually, there's kind of a fun story behind her, because when I was recovering from my amputation. That was in 2016. Yeah, 2016. I had my right leg amputated. Just, someday I'll tell that story. Probably isn't today. So I was recovering though from amputation, and you spend a lot of time just in bed. You can't really do too much, and that's actually when I started getting into drawing in the first place, as a way to, kill time and kind of express feelings that I wasn't ready to talk about yet. And I started drawing then, and so I'm going off on like this dumbest tangent. I'm not phrasing this well. Anyway, chicken fajitas. So I used to not really be able to do much during the day. You're just stuck in bed getting better. And one thing, though, that I always looked forward to each day was cooking dinner for my family. That was still something that like I could do, and almost I exclusively could do, unless I wanted to eat like frozen waffles every day, which are great, but not for every day. And I just really wanted to make a character that was kind of inspired by that time. Making chicken fajitas actually was one of my favorite things to do, just because, oh yeah, I had these great erasable pens, but on this little sketch pad for some reason they won't erase. And I'm using lined paper, which I'm sure isn't a great aesthetic, but I am using it because I left both of my sketch pads at work. And I don't know, I feel like when you have an idea and you want to start doing something, you just go for it. And I didn't want to be held back by the fact that I didn't have bougie enough art supplies. I had this idea in my head and I wanted to get her drawn. And anyway, I wondered, you guys leave in the comments if you think that this is a fun idea or not. I kind of got attached to drawing my foodles in this little sketch pad, and I've drawn two other ones. I did one lady that was inspired by my Georgia peach rooibos tea. I might not be saying that right, but I like the idea of her being a little like southern peach boss lady, so I did that one. It's on my Instagram, along with this little hard-boiled egg inspired girl. I actually made a recipe from Keto Connect because I try to follow a keto diet. I'm not always great at it. But it helps out with my gallbladder issues and stuff a lot, so I try to follow it. And they had a recipe that was super interesting. You make like hard-boiled eggs, and you cut it in half, and then you put like sprinkle Parmesan on it and in the pan, and then you like fry the Parmesan onto the hard-boiled egg. So it makes this really like unique hard-boiled egg plus crispity, crunchity Parmesan cheese, and it was super good. So I made the first food doodle, and I thought, like, this is great. This is what I'm going to do each day from now on. And then I made that second snack, and I was like, this is such a super fun idea. I don't want to save it until tomorrow. And then here I am making this chicken fajitas girl, too. So as long as you guys aren't against it, I'm going to keep using this lined paper notebook for it, just because I got a little attached to it. I kind of like it. But next time, hopefully, after I go back to work, I'll bring home my Micron pens and brush pens and all that, and it'll be a little more fleshed out, maybe. But anyway, so I picked this style for chicken fajitas because I've used a wheelchair off and on since my amputation, but I've never actually drawn one. It was super, super difficult, and I didn't use a reference. I'm really bad about that. So I just kind of went with what was in my head. And I realized afterward, I kind of got stuck on, I know there's like feet rests for a wheelchair, but mine doesn't have them. So I didn't even know, like in my mind's eye when I was trying to draw it, I was like, where did those even go? So I just left them out because my wheelchair doesn't have them. I didn't think they were necessary in this. But I used to, be stuck in my bed a lot, and I was getting better, and then dinner every evening, my family would like, oh my God, Mom, come rescue us. We need food. Help. You're the only one who can save the day. And it was a super good feeling to still be, useful, even though I felt like 90% of my day I sure wasn't. And one of my favorite things to make was chicken fajitas. That's always been something I think I'm pretty good at making. And my husband really likes when I cook it. We've been together for a decade now, and he always, from when we first started dating, really liked when I made that. And one of my favorite things was to put on Tiny Desk Concerts, the podcast. I listen to so many podcasts. Oh my gosh. I don't listen to that one anymore, but I did then because I had a little more free time. And I really liked all the world music, and it was super fun to just put on, like a fun song from another country, something from Latin America, and make these fajitas. And I always liked the full process of making fajitas. You wash your vegetables, and then you slice and dice everything, and you slice up the chicken, and then you fry the chicken and the vegetables. And I'm sure you guys know how to make fajitas, but I like that recipe because it's very familiar. And sometimes things like that can be really calming to make, like this is a little bit of a process, and I know everybody's going to love the end result, and I really enjoy getting to make it, and, I'm going to just take some time for myself and focus on this and enjoy my music. And really similar to drawing in a way, it's something that is a private process, but is a little bit of fun too. And I wanted to make this girl that was super animated and drawing and dancing and, just like living it up and having a lot of fun, because that was a really fun memory for me specifically, since I was thinking about chicken fajitas and everything. And for the color palette, I originally was thinking about doing, like the classic fajita colors, like a red, yellow, green. But once I started pulling those out and swatching with them up top, I realized that kind of felt a little cliche. It didn't feel super original. And I couldn't, ooh, that's an airplane. Did you guys hear it? I couldn't find we live like very close to the airport. We live just a few blocks away from the airport here in our town. But anyway, I couldn't find a yellow that I felt really expressed what I was wanting to get in there either. So I ended up, just deciding that I was going to switch up the color palette and still do something with the fajitas feeling. And I was really kind of inspired by my grandma's Fiesta ware collection, which is silly. I don't know if you know those dishes, but they have such beautiful, vibrant colors. And I decided I was going to do kind of a teal and terracotta theme with this one. And I don't know, I felt like that was a little bit punchy, but in the end, with the way that I did her skin tone too, it ended up being a little more, I guess I wouldn't say muted, but I wouldn't know how to put it either. Not as much contrast as I wanted, and I needed I needed another color to tie it together. And, you'll see in the end, stick to the end to see what it looks like. I really like trying to pick a different element, a different, unique, special thing to put in each drawing. And, sometimes that might be changing up the skin tone. Sometimes that might be adding a unique thing in their hair. or making them a differently shaped person or differently abled person. And in this one, I think I took on too many things. I like the funny stripy socks. Those are, I don't own any like that, but maybe I'll knit some because I think they're really cute. I like the color there. But anyway, I think I made too many, different choices in this one, and that made it hard to get the basics exactly right. Like the hand and the angle of the arm on the left side kind of bugs me, and maybe the angle of the face a little bit too. I think that if I'd pulled her mouth in a little bit more, it would have been better. Just with it being such a dynamic pose and drawing the wheelchair for the first time without a reference, and I added some crimped hair. I really like crimped hair. I don't know, on myself, on other people, but nobody really does it. I kind of want to bring it back. I don't know what I'm doing with this voiceover. It's kind of my first time really trying this style. When you're doing makeup, you talk while you're doing it about what you're doing, and I keep getting these gaps of video. See, I went to get more pencils. Oh shoot, I should have been talking that whole time. That's what makes the gap of video bad. Ugh, ugh, ugh. I'll get better. You guys stick with me and we'll get through it. Anyway, I think that I took on a little too much in this one just because I was doing the different pose and the different hair and the wheelchair, and it made it tough to get the hands exactly right. And I had somewhere I was going with this, but I can't remember what it was. This turned into a disaster. I think I grabbed my little garbage can and stuff because I thought that I would need to throw something away or sharpen my pencil, but actually, my little garbage can, it's the pink thing there. It's so cute because it looks like a real garbage can, like the kind you wheel out to the curb. And I I don't know. I saw it when they had school supplies on sale a while back, and I really love it. Shading got tough here. It was tough to begin with, but especially here, just because I feel like in my mind, when I'm envisioning my style and everything, I want to use markers. I've been thinking about getting the Hoo markers. I hear a lot of good things about them, even though they have a really funny name. I never know how to say it, like Hoo. I don't know. Maybe they should, that's their new jingle, Hoo. But anyway, this is not sponsored by them because I don't even own them. And why would they sponsor this quality of art? But I don't know. I have been using, these are, I don't know what brand of colored pencils, but I'll put the link in the description, I guess. And I like them. They're nice and creamy. Some of them are duds. I have one that's like a silvery gray, and it's almost like a gag pencil, just because every time I try to use it, I forget that the core of it isn't actually like affixed to the wood. So it just like whoop slides right up into the pencil every time I try to use it. And I should just throw it away, but I don't like getting rid of supplies, and I don't like not being able to use things, but I don't know. I'm never going to be able to use it, so I should just get rid of it. And instead, I just keep pranking myself every time I try to use that color. Just boop, oh man, got me again, you pencil. Thanks for that. And have to pick a different color, which sucks because it's actually a really pretty color. I wish I could use it, but nope, sure can't. And I think that the way that my shading is going would be really efficient with pencil, or not with pencil. That's what I'm saying right now, with marker, or maybe watercolor would be nice too. I think that that's something I'd like to experiment with in the future. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm kind of just starting out, and I think when you're just starting out, it's okay to, use what you have available and just go with it. Who cares? Your drawing is still going to be an expression of you at the end of the day, and some good practice. I'm really proud of the legs in this one. I like that a lot. I think I got the shading on the foot close to what I wanted, but not perfect. And I think definitely my favorite part is the crimped hair. Oh, how perfect! I'm drawing the crimped hair in now. That's so great. Yeah, I think that's definitely the most like unique bit to me. Super fun, and definitely some things I could have done differently or worked on more. But I don't know. I'm happy with where it ended up. I think I'm still really trying to find my style a lot. Oh, that's something I wanted to bring up. What do you guys think about like style copy videos? Like if I took a drawing like this and did it in the style of somebody else. I've been watching a lot of YouTubers, and I think that that's really what inspired me to start getting serious about drawing. Because, like I said, I was really stuck in my own head about needing to have realistic drawings, and watching some people who draw more cartoony things like drawing with waffles, and Casey Golden. That made me kind of think I can play around with things a lot more, and I've been watching drawing videos all the time, and that's kind of what inspired me too to like, well, if I like watching this, I could do this on YouTube since I don't really want to do makeup so much anymore. And that's, a fun way I can have a creative outlet. So I think that, am I pretty close to done here? Oh yeah. So I add these little, I always like adding a shape in the background of my drawing just to kind of like tie it together, and instead of doing a real background and everything, 'cause it's just a little doodle, a little foodle. And I added behind her, when you go to, like some not super great Mexican restaurant, not like, not authentic, I guess is what I mean, like a Taco Bell or something like that, and you get like a salad and they have the little Fiesta crunchy strips. I kind of added those behind her just because I like the shape, and I thought it'd be a fun way to play with the color and give her a little zesty extra bit and tie it all together. And I mentioned before that I feel like this color palette wasn't, it's very dynamic, right? It's very, very full of contrast, but maybe isn't exactly what I wanted going in, and maybe I didn't put a ton of thought into the exact shades. And then, like I said, I've been kind of struggling with shading exactly the right way with these pencils rather than markers, and which I don't know, I'll get the markers someday, but we'll see. Um, Anyway, I did these fun little Fiesta Sizzle cracker tortilla things. I guess that's what they are, tortillas. I keep calling them Fiesta Sizzles. I don't know. Anyway, I did those behind her, and originally I drew them really rigid, but then as I started inking them, I kind of felt like it'd be fun to flare them out a little and give them a little movement too. So I added them behind her, and went ahead and colored them in with similar shades, but not exactly the same, something that kind of is a little bit different and in a different spot. I had a lot of orange up top, so I knew I wanted to use this red, and I wanted to get it away from the orange if I could, kind of give it its own space and use it to add some contrast. And I really like how that ended up. I feel like it's one of the things that kind of helped bring this drawing together more to me. I think, too, I talked about placement of the arms and face and stuff. That's why I wish that I was good at digital drawing. I don't even honestly have a concept of like how to do it. It does not make very much sense to me. I haven't looked it up. I haven't invested time into learning about how to do it. Maybe if I did, I'd feel like that's something attainable. But I feel like if I could just pick up that arm, just like isolate it and pull it in closer to her a tiny little bit, and then like just tilt her face like a couple degrees, I would be so much more happy with this drawing than I am right now. Not that I don't like it. Obviously, I do. I'm sharing it with you guys, but I don't know. I think that those things, when you look at the same piece of work for a long time and you have the vision in your head, and then it doesn't just exactly match and kind of gets to you at the end of the day, It could have been a little bit better, but I think still for, drawing without a reference on the wheelchair and mostly just having the idea in my head of this like fun shape. She's doing some wacky stuff and she's having a blast. She's dancing, she's living it up and, dancing. I think in her house is what's in my mind just because she's still got her little sockies on. She's not out somewhere doing anything. She's just having fun. And I kind of finished it up with a little bit of, oh gosh, what's it called? Oh, like hand lettering? I don't know. I've been really working on that lately. That's something I have a lot of fun doing. And I just wanted to kind of label her with that she was a chicken fajitas inspired doodle in case I don't know. I don't think down the road I'd forget, but I think that it kind of tied the piece together a little bit for me to have that extra little note. Maybe if somebody is messing around with my notepad, they'll see it and be like, "Oh, I guess she likes chicken fajitas a lot. That's pretty weird." But I don't know. Joke's on them, because there's probably going to be a lot worse drawings in this notebook. um, but anyway, I don't know if you guys are super into seeing these foodles. If you'd like me to, move on to other challenges, other drawing prompts, leave me comments below and check out my Instagram, stuff like that. I'll have the links in the description here. And I don't know, I guess I'll see you guys next time. I hope that you liked my first art that I tried. It's not my first art ever, but here she is. There's our little chicken fajitas girl. Alright, well, I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!